Hello everybody, and thank you for watching today's video. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, I invite you to do so. There might be vlogs that I did that you're interested in. I also invite you to follow me on my Facebook page with the same name. That's where you can also direct message me if you have any questions. Today's topic is really interesting. I get to be asked a lot about this, like what do you do with students who are fighting in the classroom? How do you avoid having that situation? Okay, just so you know, I'm no longer in the US. I have been here in the Philippines for 5 months now because I have already completed my J1 visa cultural exchange program in Florida. So I'm back here. What I'll be sharing with you are based on my experience, stories from my friends. So I taught high school math and physics in Orlando, Florida in a Title I public school there, just to give you an idea. My first few years are really rough. I would tell you right now, real talk, they would say that I would cry every Sunday night because the next day is Monday. So I was like that from September through around January. I'm also telling you that it gets better towards the end of the school year, especially I'm teaching seniors mostly, so they want to graduate, they don't want to mess up what they have already started, and they're almost done with school and will be graduating soon. So my experiences might be different from the experiences of the other teachers in the US, and also it could be different from what you will experience when you get there. Of course, your experiences might be different as well when you teach different grade levels. So I'm teaching 11th and 12th grade math and physics again, like I said. So your experience might be different because you'll be teaching middle school students or elementary students or kindergarten. As a teacher for 22 years, one of the things that I hope would never happen in my classroom is, students fighting, because that's total chaos and everyone's not safe and they could hurt each other like severely. So during my 5 years teaching in the US, that's one of the things that I really feared the most. Serious fights are quite frequent where I taught for 5 years. And it's also not just in my school, it happens in the other schools based off of what I heard from my friends who were also teaching there. And it can also be true in other grade levels like middle school. So yeah, make sure to prepare yourself for things like that to happen. So watch vlogs on what to do about those, but I'll be sharing with you my own experience and things that I have learned. The best way to not having fights in the classroom is to have a clear system, rules, consequences in the classroom in place. So also make sure that you are observing your class all the time, that you are not ignoring behavior that could lead to fights eventually, right? Also, make sure to plan your lessons so that the students will be productive the entire period, that they don't have time to do horseplay, tease each other, things like that. When you saw two students or whatever number, when they're teasing each other, nudging each other, make sure to already tell them to stop, because fights usually start with students teasing each other and one gets annoyed, one gets angry, and then they start fighting. Okay, so make sure that you avoid situations like that. So but if the students are already teasing each other, doing horseplay, well, put on your serious face and then tell them to stop, to quit playing with each other, to quit annoying each other, for instance, or teasing each other. So what do you do if the students continue to fight verbally? At this point, they're still not fighting physically, but you already did everything you can, things that you have learned about de-escalating situations like that, but the students are still verbally abusing each other. And if you're not able to completely change the situation, it could get to serious physical fight. So what you can do is to already call the dean or any of the admins. So that's why it is very important you have these numbers accessible from where you are usually at when you are in your classroom teaching. So these deans, these admins, they are usually roaming around the campus if they don't have meeting during school hours. So they make sure that the students are safe, the school is safe, they make sure that the students are in their classroom, etc. So make sure again that you know what the protocol is when it comes to these things. Never leave the classroom with the students without any adults in there. Whether it will get worse or things will calm down depends on your response to the situation. So make sure that you are not escalating the situation by saying the wrong things, by doing, hand gestures that could make things worse. So I know it could be difficult to control yourself when you're already in the situation, but that is something that you have to train yourself for. Well, anyway, when you get to the US, they will give you trainings on things like this, but they will not train you how to break a fight. Other people will do that. What happens if the fight is already kind of like starting? What do? You're not supposed to break a fight. Yes, it could be something that's surprising to hear, but you don't want to get involved physically in the situation by breaking the fight, because in the process you could hurt a student and they could go after you, right? So the students could claim that you touched them in inappropriate manner or that you hurt them. So make sure not to break a fight when it's already happening, because there are people who are trained to break the fight. As a teacher, make sure that you stay calm. Talk to the students who are fighting. Do not touch them. Use soft voice, calm voice as much as you could. Acknowledge their feelings while you're waiting for the people you called to come and take care of the situation. Again, do not touch the students. Do not try to break the fights. And also do not send the student out of the classroom without an escort, like an admin or a dean from the discipline office. Even if you tell them, the students, to go to the principal's office or to the discipline office, you're not really sure if they're really going there. So something bad could happen and you don't want that. Okay, so to kind of summarize everything that I said in this video today, does fight really happen in schools in the US? Yes, they do. And are they bad? They can be really bad. So what we want to do really is to avoid that situation to happen by having the students really doing things productively. Make sure that you have procedures, rules, expectations established in your classroom and that you're really doing it, and making sure that the students know the consequences. Make sure that you know your school or district rules, protocol when it comes to discipline issues like fighting. Never ever touch students. Do not break the fight, because there are people who are trained to do that. And make sure that when the fight has already started, talk to the students who are fighting in a calm voice. It could be difficult when you're already in the situation, but make sure to do that. Acknowledge their feelings where they are angry. Avoid using words that could offend those who are fighting. Make sure to remind the students, the classmates, not to film the fight, because there could be legal consequences for that. So make sure the students know the school's rules as well. So that's it for today. I hope you're not discouraged by the stories that you hear from other teachers or you see in the news, because really, even if those things are happening, experiences are different from teacher to teacher, from grade level to grade level, from different states. So I'm hoping that your experience when you come to the US will be a good one, but at the same time, you have to know that these things are happening. But the important thing is that you know the protocols. Make sure that your classroom is a safe place for everybody, for your students and also for you, by being organized, knowing what you need to do in things like this when they happen. And remember that as a foreign teacher in the US, you are protected by law, the same law that's protecting American teachers, and you can always contact your visa sponsors when you need any assistance. If you're feeling like you're not safe, you can always reach out to your uh, principal, to the visa sponsor. Okay, so do not be afraid and hope for the best. Just make sure to go there prepared. Just like in any task, new task that we're doing, you want to go there prepared. And that we are open to different possibilities. All right, so that's the end of our video for today. I hope that's helpful, especially to those who are asking, about what to do when students are fighting in the classroom. In my 5 years in Orlando, I am very grateful that it never happened. Although there are fights in the campus, in other classrooms, I'm glad it never happened in my class. I'm very grateful to my students for that. And so yeah, I have other videos that you might find interesting. I also have Facebook page where you can follow me and send me direct message if you have any questions. So thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.